Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. And let me start by saying to all of you out there, all our graduates, all of our graduates, okay, I will say to the maybe dedicate this song, Bob Marley, Emancipate Your Mind from Mental Slavery. You know, Michael Douglas said, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. But as I wish everyone letting them know and congratulate our community, the American community at large, the African diaspora community on the graduation of our children, from many facets of the career field, from medical doctor to engineers to lawyers to business experts to humanitarian field, all of you, all of you, congratulations. We are super proud of you. In the coming days, I will get some list of kids that I will focus here, including my own last baby, whom I'm very, very proud of, my daughter. Okay. Planning to go to school to be a doctor. All right. I know it's a long journey. Okay. But I pray that God will continue to um, bless her, enlighten her, guide her, protect her along the path until she can reach where she wants to be. So, again, to the community, last week I had three graduation. My niece, Tristan, graduated from UGA. My niece graduated from Georgia Gwinnett. Yes, in finance, and I can go on. And if all of you know Gwanda daughter, okay, Gwanda uh, daughter also graduated last week. It has been a busy week. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to celebrate my own little brother. Ooh, a new Dr. Bully on the block. He graduated. Um, if any of you have ever hosted he and his beautiful wife here before, on about AI, he created an AI called Mami Pepe. For the past 8 years, he had been like be studying different behavior in respect to educational setting. What's some of the determinant that makes school age children successful. Okay, what are some of the determinant that makes them struggles? You know, he studied the structure of the family. Confucius says the strength of the nation depends on the integrity of the home. That is so true. So maybe I can get them over to come here. We have Dr. and Dr. Bill Bully, Dr. PhD, Dr. MD. Super proud of both of them. So Dr. Bully, PhD, is into AI. Got his first and second degree in engineering, electrical engineering. And he branched off to AI, where he got his philosophy degree from, a PhD. It's an MD. Listen, you don't hear a lot of Liberians name out there because there are not many of us. There are 5 million of us. So we are like, if you live in a country of 340 million people, and you are maybe about 250,000 million of the population, with maybe the first group of people that came mostly from a war-torn part Liberia. Most did not go to school. So the first generation American, and those who came, the younger group that came, are making maximum impact. And I'm proud of my community. It's like we are a small group of people. I see most of the amplifying goes onto the drama on social media, the cussing, the this, the that. Hey, Rosie, this is where most people see. Okay, but those who are thriving You don't get to see that because it's not all over social media. So I would take a time of maybe next Saturday. I'm not going to be my daughter graduation. Uh, Cookout is going to be here, so I wouldn't be able to. But I'm going to be home. I'm going to take a day just focus on those children from different fields. We have Liberian children graduating from Ivy League, you know, some of the other competitive legacy institutions around here. Like my little girl, you know, got like full ride scholarship to many prestigious school. She chose where she wants to go to. Those are the hey Afonso, those are the things that we're talking about when some of us come on the platform to speak to you. And a lot of people come and say, oh, you will stay long inside 12 years in county. You know, I can safely say if we are new 3 years ago, that some of us, what we were saying to him was in his favor, I bet he regret that he didn't listen now. Okay? I bet he regrets that now because we, people thought it was hate. You know, my aunt used to say, "When me and like the parents who never gave in, the parents who keep talking to the child, nurturing, empowering, correcting, that parent, okay, if the child is a listening person, that child is going to do well because you don't learn of children. That's a proverb that say, if you want to understand where you are headed, stop and ask those who coming from that direction. Then you will know. Meaning learn from other people's experience, so to speak, right? So you please share the video. So yesterday I had an opportunity to watch my younger brother. Actually, the first thing is we had a dinner, which was beautiful. Um they call it doctoral uh, um dinner that we had. Good food, good company. You know, each segment, okay, each segment um had their own group, like the people into engineering, people into medicine. They had their own dinner ceremony. And my God, I did some picture and I will show you what a university looks like. When I hear Liberian people, I'm going to veer off a little bit and I'm going to come back up. People come there. When I hear Liberian people come and say, why the children in Liberia protest? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Okay. Why don't go see? You know, I would tell this story about when I was young. They used to tell us, we had this woman who used to tell us these stories. And they said there was this woman that was so strong, and she was the king's daughter. And she said she would, because she has so many suitors, that every time somebody comes, she would tell the person if the man is able to beat her physically, then she will marry that man. But a lot of the men were not wise enough. She was looking for a wise man, but the men who came before, they didn't understand what she was talking about. No, come on. What did they get to my stuff here? Why is it here? Oh my God, Lily again, I miss not now. Yeah, my niece. I don't know what she did to my phone. It's asking me for password, and I don't believe I remember. Okay. Right, Alfonso, I will later. Right now, I can't. Right now, I can't. When I leave from here, I got a lot of work to do for school tomorrow. So I can do anything outside of work and here because I got to. So I will look at it tomorrow after work, not today. If I tell you today, then I will be telling you a story. I just got in. I didn't sleep last night because I had an early flight, and my daughter had a ceremony at church today. and I needed to sleep, then do my work because we closed this week too. Yeah. So let me continue right now. Um, so like I was saying, so the woman, said she wanted a man that can beat her physically in a competition. And all the strong men came from different kingdoms challenging this woman. And this woman was very fast. I've been training from since she was little. And she keep beating these men. But there was a guy that came that was very wise. And that man thought, I cannot beat this man physically, the woman physically. So I have to beat her emotionally. I got to calm her strength. He found a strategy. And the strategy was to kill her with love, so to speak, and distraction. He brought flowers, he brought apples, he brought fruit, and she loved apple. She loved flower. So as they're going for the competition, he would throw fruit that she likes. She would deviate from the race. She would go pick it up. He would throw flowers. She would deviate from the race, and she would go and pick it up. So by the time she actually looked up to see where the finish line was, the young man had reached the finish line. So the young man did not counter her strength. He captured her by love, or with love and intelligence. That's how he outwitted her. So we say at the school level, keep the children busy, then they will not get in trouble. Keep them busy in learning. Keep them focused on things. Keep them exploring. Then they don't have nothing to do. But Liberia, the time is on the people's hand, the young people's hand. You don't have good lab, no research lab, no intercollegiate library that they can go research. Okay, most of them live off of Google. Okay, and not even good scholar. You don't have your own reservoir of peer review or information that they can tap into. Everything is from, and then we talk about the colonizer. Everything that we use, that we reference, mostly are from the colonizer, so to speak. So most people do work from the eyes of, from the vantage point of the colonizer, okay? And that's the way it is. So for you to capture them, the young people, you must keep them engaged. You must give them opportunity. You must give them challenges that will make them think more, okay? Like on my little brother campus, beautiful campus, beautiful campus. And it's like every university you go to, you get different majority. So majority of um, the international students that were on the campus were mostly from Southwest Asia. They were mostly like Chinese, Indians. They were, I mean, and mostly into AI, anything into engineering and medical. We don't have that. Okay. We want to put people in, we don't have respect for knowledge in Liberia, so to speak. We don't. Every leader is literally, usually it's the last result. We know during Toba time, that was the rise of what you call today the protests, where there were whatever, before there were political system. But for 130 some more years, there wasn't one. Most people didn't even know their rights. Most people didn't even know they had right to vote. Even to become a city mayor, you have to have money. Just as it was done here in Georgia, we used to call something what you call the white primary. Only certain people could vote. Only certain people could vote. All right? Especially in Georgia, only white people could vote. They call it the white primary. That was that. Then it got to a point people have to have property to vote. It was like that in Liberia. You have to have property. You have to pay money to vote. Just at the election of 1924, I think it's 1924-25, where the vote is considered, and it made the Guinness Book of World Record, one of the most rigged election in the world in Liberia. Let me just pull it. I think I can pull it. Okay. Where the population that voted were more than 5 times the population in the country was counted for. All right. So I am talking, we're now on the air in Liberia today. According to what I heard, due to the station being down, I called the station manager. He did not answer. Spoke with the young lady that's sitting with us. So I'll reach out to him and see what's going on. Then I also, I wanted to talk briefly about what is going on in Liberia. I'm going to have a young man here who is an advocate in Liberia about the RIP. Since 2024, we have over 2,700 reported rape cases. These are just the rape that are being reported. Okay, and I will play this voicemail from this young man also. All right, from this young man also, that is what interview on VOA, and I think all of us are watching it, where they are just, and I just been taking picture and putting it down. Okay, where there are so much everywhere every time you wake up in the morning, there are people body in the streets. This week alone, I saw at least 4. Then the accidents. Okay, it's like life does not matter. So I will tell you something. In the developed world, at least where I live in the United States, if there is an intersection that keep having accident, they will document. The next thing you look, there will be a caution sign. Next thing you look, maybe you will have a speed breaker or a roundabout. They will do anything to save lives. But every week that we get up, Ganta, Banga Highway, Morovia Highway, Buchanan Highway, almost every week they're death on that road. Every week they're death on that road. And there's nothing that is done about it. And this is not just this government. This is successive government. This is from Ellington to Wiatan, now to Bwakatan. In fact, 2017 election, the week before the election, hi, Brother Joe, we didn't see you in church today. A minister car went in the ravine when we were going to Nimba in 2017. Between, I think it's Torota and going to Ganta Way. Okay? So it seems like lives don't really matter, or it is intentional. We're trying to reduce our population. We're already not enough. Okay? But the thing is, the young people. Now, let me say this to you. I see some of you, by the time somebody say hello, you say wait for 12 years. Somebody say hello, you say you are still long inside. Somebody say, oh, hello, you're ready to post stupidity, picture of people, okay? 1%. Great. At the level that young people are dying, you don't even know you will be here 2020 now, or 2026, or 2020. People got on a bus, Killer Bean yesterday, going from Nimba or going to Nimba. Literally all of them, I'm told, either hurt or died. This week, I have seen 4. And I'm talking about people who died in hospital from natural causes, or lack of electricity, or on an operation, or those are sick. I'm talking about body falling in the streets, young people unalive. But you're telling me, well, for 2023, all you 2% or 1%, proud 1%. What is your 99% doing at this point for the people? If 99% of a population vote for you, they believe in you, they believe that you can change the trajectory of their lives. You can put their lives on the right path. That's why they voted for you. It should not be a slogan. It should be an action. Because the people show you action. That's what it should be. You know, I'm sitting here, and on Facebook, there's this propaganda going around with my brother, I think his name Bobby Timba. I'm supposed to be a journalist who keep writing nonsense. Okay? I'm going to play this. He wrote and said, Musa Ability is withdrawing his machine. And that's the new thing. Okay. Musa Ability. I'm getting somebody to come on the platform. Okay. So Musa Ability is taking his machine because the people didn't vote for him. To tell you the truth, me where I know, Musa Ability is a good man. He's a very good man. You didn't vote for him. You didn't vote for him in the last election. The people at District 7 voted for him because they believe in him. When your lawmaker called, okay, in fact, the lawmaker didn't call, you people call after what he has done in his community. Your constituent, the Liberian people, asked him to see if he could help them in a different district, or Dolanahi district. Listen, most Liberians are so used to charity that they think everything is free. They think ordering your machine is free. They think gasoline is free. They think paving road is free. If paving road were free, your government would not be using tens of millions of dollars. Look at Rawafi Highway. Rawafi Highway started under the first UP-led government with Joseph Boaka and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. They're still paving it. The young man in Burkina Faso now can and pave. He now can and pave for Junction. He now can and open tomato factory with $12 million, hire over 5,000 people. He now come and open cement factory that in 2 years old. You're still on the same road. He are also going right now building a stadium. He just built a mausoleum or museum with Thomas Sankara. Okay. He's just declared all educational sector in Burkina Faso free because knowledge is power. The Michael Frederick Douglass said, knowledge make a man unfit to be a slave. Okay. That's how the rest of the nation developed. All right. He a come and pass that. Oh, he ain't got your kind of money. You say you're stable. But you think all of these things are free and you think it's propaganda? Oh, Musa Ramadingo man. Especially the stupidity coming out of Nima Kante, I can say that. Stupidity coming out of Nima Kante. Let me play this really quickly. All right? Let me play this. It may not be clear because it's, how you call it? Let me play this.
The road project is almost in Playport town, and these are citizens of this area, women, adults, children are in number celebrating this great achievement by the representative of this place.
Okay, I'm going to start here because it's a little bit noisy. Okay. That's the rice project that they're working on. It's time to harvest. All right. All our people need is leadership. That's all it is, leadership. Y'all see that little road you saw there? In 2022, when we went over there, it was so straight. There was no road. It was scary to pass on that road when Musa took us on that road. Bound road was cut off. There was no road. Me, I will give to Caesar what is due Caesar and to God what is due God. That's what I'm going to do. That's precisely what I'm going to do. Give to Caesar what is due Caesar and to God what is due God. Okay, so the story is that, oh, Musa pulling out his machine. If Musa pulling out his machine, so what? Some of y'all lawmakers came to power, had nothing. Some of all went there and supported them. The people went to him and said, please clear some road for us. We see what you're doing. Y'all remember when Musa went to one of the people's district and one of his sons drowned? I'm trying to find the letter, the press release. When your very people, Nima Caucus, Musa was running that way between y'all. Ain't got nothing. I'm just adding my voice. It has nothing to do with me. They made the arrangement. After they going in the back and told, after your Nima people sat on this platform, Nima unity, your egotistical, arrogant, okay, with the inhuman behavior of a vice president who is egotistical and power hungry. I'm talking to Jeremiah Kun. He has no humility. I'm saying that. Okay? Yasendi Martin, I'm saying that. You can't cuss because that's what you're used to doing. And you don't bother me. I'm used to it. Sedition used to cuss me. In fact, the first started, I was not married. I was not busy. I didn't have children. In fact, they started, George Weah left me or don't like me, and that's why I hated him. But I was trying to tell him the truth. Most of you didn't. I've been married literally all my life. And I don't like dull men. I don't even like dull men. I don't. I like men who can think, who got their head on their shoulders. Okay? But some of us were talking about we are to do what is right so we can't end up where we are. We are was hope. My mother used to come to this house to come bear me, to support my brother. We are, it's like a son to my mom. You were on Facebook because it got to a point people threatening. When I go to Liberia, they will kill me, they will dissolve my body. I don't know where these people get all of this idea from. Angry woman, you will stay long inside where I will be there. In fact, 24 years counting. But you're 24 years. Because God don't listen. Because the leadership does not listen. Because those who surround themselves with a leader, it's all about them, it's not about the country. And so we are not listening. You guys are doing the same thing today. I see some of you come under the post with insults and assumption. I said it right here though. I woke up at 2 o'clock this morning. My husband and I caught a plane, came to Georgia, got ready, took our daughter to the church, got her blessing from the pastor for graduation. I'm sitting in my office. Some of you even got room to sleep in, but you will come on people's posts. You will stay alone inside. That's what we were telling. We are. Do what is right by the Liberian people. You won't stay for 40 years, we'll let you stay. I'm not saying we were going to. I'm just being hypothetical. Okay, the people will decide. So Musa went around, like Yan Flomo in District 1. We went to that place. In fact, my husband did the school project rendition or rendering. They were calling engineering. And we were supposed to provide everything for him. The first thing is, after we voted and campaigned for this man, he won. He joined UP without even when he won, he didn't even call us Nyaflomo, the ingrates. He didn't even call us to say, I don't know you from Adam. I don't. It was through Nya Bowman, our love and respect for Nya Bowman, that took us there. And when Nya recommend, we follow with him. He never even called to say, Ma, thank you. In fact, I told Nya he was not a good person. He was rude to us. When we went over there, they were doing something at the stadium. When he came, the place is hot. Then know someone had just come from the cold. We're sweating. Oh, y'all coming follow me or you won't come by yourself, just like that. We got in the place. People follow the place. They men have here water on ice. In the cooler by him. He never offered us water. He never did. Young woman, you hear? Tell me that. When we left, I told Nya, I said, man, would that be nice to those people? Imagine, we left our family. You brought us here. The man sitting down on his table, he and his wife, they're drinking cold water. We will travel all the way and key. Now that we could not afford water. But that man did not offer us a bottle of water. Liberian people, y'all hear me? District 1. When we walk out, you ask Dr. Richardson, she will tell you. When I tell them about people, my instinct, the February inside of me, the Aquarius that speak inside of me, it usually come to pass. Now, why you see me? I'm a loner. I choose very wisely. I can stay with you. That does not mean I'm staying with you. If I stay with you, there's something, some character that I have seen and admired, that I respect, that will stay with you. But I can make a date with you and hang out with you and support you in a season. If I study you, okay, I used to tell my mom, and my husband would tell you, I can read people through their eyes. You don't got to say nothing when I meet you. When our younger people would say I was arrogant, and my spirit did not gel with yours, we're not going anywhere, my dear. We can be in a group. You ask my cousin, then I got plenty of family in Georgia. I got at least 100 family members. All are from the same town. All are with the same blood. They will tell you. My cousin love people. She will be all over the place. I love people though, but I choose. She will say, my friends and say, you're too arrogant. I was not arrogant. I choose. I just don't allow people to let me in. If you welcome me, if my spirit align with yours, I will open up. But if it does not, I will be respectful, cordial, but I will not go beyond that. I just will not go beyond that. I like to be alone. That's me. I love people, but I love my space. I'm that 1%. Okay. I'm a loner. I don't even in my house. Ask my children. Most of you who see me, if you see me, I will be on Facebook. I'm in my room. I'm either in my office, on my couch, and in my room. And everybody got a room here. That's how I keep the peace. That's how I'm fulfilled. But if I'm out, I make the conscious effort to make sure everyone I hang out with feel at home, feel respected, okay? And that's just me. Now, I hear you're yelling back and forth. Musa talk is how you call it? You see how you people like to use people? You are yelling. Oh, you know, many people say, do not want boda clemo, Musa da this, Musa da that, Musa da mandingo, Musa da gio, Musa da 1%, Musa la, Musa do this. Oh, the stealing where you are there in our country. Ellie, her children, her son even bankrupt. No care. All of y'all know that. She knock her chest and say that my son are the one we pay. But you say Musato, I don't know what, 50,000. The man build what do you call it, NFA or LFA building structure. He went to court to Liberia. Liberia apologized to him. No, you ain't see that. So long he's not on your side supporting, then he's a criminal. But the Bwaka was squander hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not criminal. The one who sat on the stand on the honor oath and lied on his childhood friend who had helped him over and over. He's not criminal because you say enjoying from the criminal. But you're screaming. Musa a good man. Because if okay, if Musa was not a good man in the first place, why would he take his business caterpillar and take it for the country where being around for hundreds or more years to go clean road for your people to be able to pass? And you are representing your constituent. The constituent are telling you, in fact, all of you came together and say, oh, what do they call it? What do they call it? One NIMA agenda. The one NIMA agenda is only for Jeremiah Kun and his likes, okay? To try to divide our nation. And let me say, so you can keep my word. You made mistake with Jeremiah Kun. You think the people around though were bad, misled though. They have big individual. Arrogant. Y'all heard that little boy story? Mike, what was his name? Mike, the boy who building he rented for his doctor that he brought from out of the country to do the Honyan operation or whatever they were doing. When he didn't want, you know what he did? The boy have to sell everything and run out. Once you do not agree with Jeremiah Kun, you are an enemy. And you think Prince Johnson was bad? In cutting people and taking from people, you wash yourself. I'm saying it. I am saying it. I want nothing. At the point I am, I barely don't have to go to Liberia. I've been here all my adult life. I tried moving to Liberia many times. Purchase land. I have a lot of property. My family got a lot of property. In fact, the time I'm from is owned by my great-great-grandparents. It's named after my grandparents. It's my name, my last name. Okay? So, yes. My great uncle was the first senior senator of Nima County. We made it to be a county instead of Providence. You're so bad to the point you're come. Musa, who grandfather fought for the county. Dan Bowie. No, he less of an Imbadian. Father from Nima, man from Nima, grandfather, a chief. No, he's not. Jeremiah Kun, who part from your said our tradition. In our tradition, me, I know the tradition. Okay, because I'm a country woman. In our tradition, where you man from, and I know you, where you part from, that's why I tell people I'm man, because my father, that man, my man, are you. So I got the right to speak to all. No, but Jeremiah Kun is an embodiment. And Musa is not. But Jeremiah Kun, man, a Geo woman, like me. And her pa, that crewman from the southeast. But now he's the king of Nima County. The king of division of Nima County. And majority of you who in that place, for $2, $200, $10, a few back of rice, you sell your man who and your woman who and your children's future to that man. Me, let me confess, I told Musa ever since, be careful with those people. Like me, who's saying it? Whether you listen or you don't listen, I speak my truth. That's me. If I'm with you, I speak my truth. Ask Alexander Cummings. You see, JMB is not peaceful. He's pretentious. Most of you don't know JMB. I work with JMB. I talked to JMB. I hosted JMB. I provided my community provider security detail for JMB. We supported JMB. In fact, Alexander Cummings put his name on Liberian board when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took over. He agreed at the time he was the CFO of Coca-Cola to make sure they have the characters of people that they needed for the world to take a second look at Liberia and give her grace. Most of all just coming to being. We assume being pretentious does not mean you are not dangerous. Those are the most dangerous people. Hide their hand. How do you call a man who lied and put his friend, character, his future, his life, everything he had worked for online, sat in the court, put a hand on the Bible, and lied on the oath that he didn't know him? Everything he said is this. You know, Confucius said, the strength of the nation depends on the integrity of the home. You cannot be lack integrity and you say you're peaceful. Or the leader of the Lofa Defense Force is peaceful, then we can assume or quote that Prince Johnson was peaceful. So let's stay with that. Me, I'm not talking from the surface. I'm talking from the man I know that I work with. The man is peaceful. But when Dr. Emmanuel Dolo filed or did a grant with a gift foundation, all the people there in that place, be there sending them. Cassidy then were trying to take that money by force until Ellen got involved. He didn't say one word and he's peaceful. He's pretentious. Thank you, Darius. He is pretentious. You know, it's like telling the mafia boss he's peaceful. You never see the mafia boss in action. He gets up in the morning, he goes to mass. He put a big check into the plate. He kissed the young children from their mother and kissed their forehead and get their blessing. He goes to his office. He gave command to go to the corner store and cut off the man's hand until he can pay for protection. So then the mafia bosses are also peaceful because they don't do the work. They get their boys and their girls to do the work. They put bounty on people's head. You can never get them. Yes, Mike Adami. That's the young man name I was looking for. So the NEMA agenda, there's no damn NEMA agenda. It is Jeremiah Kuhn agenda. He goes around, he collects money. We know Jeremiah Kuhn took money from he took money for Alexander Cummings. Just say that politics, that lack of integrity. So there's no NEMA agenda. The agenda is Jeremiah Kuhn and his people and his crimes against us. Okay? Most of them, listen, I have tried so hard to be positive, to not say a word, especially during this last campaign. You got a cruel man who knocked your chest. A cruel man in the middle of Nima Kante. What happened to your Nima man? Cause they're gonna get Girepia Diantroka. Nima Kante men, my uncle, my great uncle Johnny's vocal, when he spoke, no man spoke. Even the president of the Republic of Liberia respected his voice, Johnny Vocal. My mom said he had a voice bigger than James L. Jones. And he was respected. When he spoke, people knew who voice was, who were coming. Chua Zama, Dan Bowen, Chief Dan Bowen. Your sit down. Your sister's son show up in your town and disrobe your. You live with him as a neighbor. You were in a neighborhood when a wife was selling cold water to you. When light came, when there was no road, they rolled it past. He's also a neighbor to my brother-in-law. So I don't know what you're talking about. A neighbor to my auntie. You being the neighbor, you don't live with him, you don't work with him. You see him. No, I don't have a product to sell, my dear. I don't. I do not have a product to sell. I don't have a product to sell. I have no product to sell. I have advocated for Liberia since I was 13 years old. I have never been in your political system. If I find someone that value align with my value, okay, that's what I stand for. My nation, I'm a patriot. I don't back people because they're my neighbor. I don't back them because they're my family. My cousin ran with Brunskin in 2017. The vice president, I have my family people call me to say to me, your own blood is in the election. When he wins, so and so. I have my own reservation. When those reservations were not cleared out, I didn't support. I know in Liberia, people moral is a line where they can gather for themselves or their connection based on proximity. Some of us don't do that way. I don't need it. I pay my dues in society. Now, let me continue. So, like I was saying, with Musability, you're all over on Facebook. Musability to your machine. I wish he did. I wish he did. I'm done with that, bro. I'm already done with that topic. I wish he did. The machine don't run its own. It didn't order itself. To build roads in any other country, it's not an individual effect. It's a government effect. You have government who has personal agenda. There's no national agenda. The legislature have legislative agenda. The president have presidential project and agenda, but there's no national agenda. What is the national agenda? Okay, somebody sent me a video here that I wanted to play. All right, somebody who actually supported this man coming to power sent me a video. I had a conversation with him, a former journalist who supported, were on the air every day, supported this man, and told me his disappointment. That's not what they voted for. That's not what he ran his campaign for. Where is this? Is that this? Okay. I have no copyright to this video. Is the spoon? Okay. This is not mine. So let me just equal it. Okay.
Because you cannot do anything around that place. It's fenced in. I couldn't just, not just to have, let me say this to all of you. I want you to check. Okay, when we received the information, I decided to send people there myself that are interested. We sent people, they couldn't allow some, but thank God, our sources, we got the information. Because you cannot do anything around that place. It's fenced in. I couldn't just, not just to have the outside that Rich is saying. So I was waiting that we have people inside that we can see what's going on. The project in Broadville, likewise, we will bring the video on that today. But I want to say this is concerning. I've been on the phone back and forth with some members of the government. They said, well, Stanton, the single source, the project, single source of project, where? Where? Yeah. Did they have no information about where the money coming from? How much the total amount? This project, Sylvester Grisby drove to Foya, and there was a big commotion about this project. I will save that for later. The money that they have spent, let me play the video. And let everybody sit down and think. I don't know whether it's the president saying, you know what, for the AOU members in Sierra Leone, in Guinea, and in Liberia, that they can go to Foya and have the meeting and have a place to stay and discuss AOU issues. Are you kidding me? You see? The single source of project, they're hiding the project. They're hiding everything. But then the single source to the relative of the president, then you be my guest. There will always be problem. People can go up and come down and try to defend the government.
You know, when people think about violence, people think about physical violence. The violence that take people and diminish your self-esteem and kill your spirit and kill the future is abuse, mental abuse. You know, my daughter that is graduating on Wednesday was born in this house. So we've been in this house over 20 years. The one that's 24 years old was brought in this house as a baby from our old house. The neighbor next door, the neighbor on the other side, the neighbor, all of them have been here since my kids were growing up. We all go to work. We come in. I see their children grow up, went to college. Some of them graduated, came back home, lived in their parents' basement. They got married, they bought their own homes, and they left. So did my children. They see my kids. They're not in my house. When they see my children, they're respectful. They speak to them. They get in their cars and they leave to go to work to come home. If they ask them for character witness, they will talk about how they go to school, they come home, and they're quiet. They really don't have that kind of direct interaction with my kids. Every now and then we stop as neighbor, we have conversation, how the kids are doing, how the grandchildren, we all got grandchildren, the grandchildren were here when the grandchildren were born. That's what they would talk about. And I could never put my neck on the line unless for what I know, what I see when we have those sidebar every now and then in the passing, with our busy lives. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. A peaceful man wouldn't undermine the structure, the very foundation of the country to get what they want. As the people said, they want a share of the money when when the money comes in. It's not about the people. My thought process is not about people who publicly exhibit constraints, but behind the closed door, they have no empathy, no compassion. That's not what I'm talking about. When you heard, let me see what happened to Titus. Titus didn't come on. Oh. Okay, Titus, I didn't get you. Well, maybe we'll do the Tuesday night when I'm on the air. I think starting, I'm going to get the label to come on the air on Sunday evening because this is not working out. I'm not going to be here and not being able to be on the air. So that's 2 weeks straight in a row. I don't like it, how you call it, but it's something that we can talk about. I think my time here, I'm going to spend 10 more minutes. I got to go work. But I will say to all of you, okay, again, if they say NEMA has an agenda, there's no agenda in NEMA country. The agenda they're talking about is Jeremiah Cohen's agenda, and what he's talking about. A few of you who are purchasable will be purchased when the time comes, okay? When the time comes, their money, what they're printing, they're bringing, like they always did, they will bring it, they will buy you up with it, because there's no detector in Liberia to say, how you call it, maybe you say have some girlfriend at the bank that will change it for you. Let me tell you, once a thief is a thief, it does not matter what position you put them in. They will always itch to do that because it gives them certain drive, okay? That is the fee offer. Just like a cheat. So however you want to put it, that's yours. That's it. That's what I will tell you. All right? When you have a sitting vice president telling you, okay, that over 50% of your population do not deserve or cannot compete or cannot lead your daughters, your sisters, your wife, your mothers, that they're less intelligent. In so many words, that's what they said. And you accept that. When you also have a group of people, a man, and some of you are sleeping with him and tell you women not supposed to lead, and you're okay with that. It speaks to you, your self-esteem. You know what? My daughters, the other day I was talking to my baby, we're just going to college. She said, Mommy, you always say you wanted to raise strong women. So why you have problem when we challenge you sometimes? I don't have problem with it. It's the way you challenge. I have strong daughters. I got 3, 1 boy. They speak for themselves. They think for themselves like I do for myself. And I want them to be better than I am. It aches me when a man who can only compete in a small, restricted space can't compete anywhere on the global scale, can't compete with me. It says me that on any level, intellectually, he can't stay in a place dusty as hell where people can't even find food to eat. Finding role on is a problem. Finding sanitary path for girls is a problem in a 200-year-old nation. Got the guts to stand up and say, women can lead. Men have led for almost 200 years. What do we get? And we always go back. Liberia used to be this way. The hell it used to be. Only in Monrovia and Maryland and Bentall. That's still 90% unemployment. Even when the so-called country had a GDP of Japan. My parents still wipe their backside with dry banana leaf or clean their backside on the tree. My great uncle were literally kidnapped for hot taxes, and taken to Fananipo and Firestone. Oh, Queen Elizabeth went to Liberia, and so what? She didn't respect you. It was all required soft diplomacy. Where were they getting? They were at war. England needed black people's support to fight, especially in the colony. You were not any extra because they tolerated you. You sat with them. You smoked cigar. You carry on. You spoke their language. It does not mean they had any regard for you. Just yesterday in the 70s, 1945, 1948, you have a guy calling a major player in America when China was voted for on the UN, called black people, say why they even wearing shoes and working clothes. They need to hang them by their tails. You know what that means? In the Deep South, those of us who study history, you know what that means? But you show up every time and back wrong. Some of you yesterday, you berated we are and his people for doing exactly that. But you don't have any problem with it because that's your neighbor, because that's your tribe, because that's your party. And that's the problem. Whenever the citizen prioritize their political party agenda, the tribal agenda, okay, the country suffers because there's no national agenda. The national agenda becomes the last thing on the list. You see why the world has taken its ears to Burkina Faso, to a 34-year-old man? Service, vision, humility, and action. He walked his talk. Two years. Y'all went back and voted those who were in power were making $20,000 and $30,000, $80,000 a month. Walk away with millions to come to rescue you. How you anticipate people who are not faithful in the small will be faithful in the big? How? And I will continue to say, knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. Frederick Douglass. They sabotage your children. You know, learning, what I love about this country is learning never stops. In any career path, doctors must continue to get certified, updated. Teachers must continue to acquire a certain amount of credit hours every year to stay abreast of the changing environment, to be able to impact every generation in their time and the next generation. Nurses must update their licenses, and must have certain credit hour and practices going. Because the word is not static. Nothing is static. You know, Mandela once said, we understand South Africa is rich. Beneath of earth is diamonds, gold, timber, aluminum, uranium. But the more precious of them all is the children. No nation that fails to educate or empower, impact knowledge. Because when you educate one generation, you would have educated 100 years, which is 5 generations. When you dig the diamond, it goes through processing. It goes somewhere else and does not return. You know who the largest diamond distributor in the world? Israel. They have no diamond beneath their earth. They can buy it. You know why they can buy it? They build the people. Every child in Israel, I don't give a fig about what they're doing. I just want you to know, I'm just using as an example based on a scholarly work that I have done. Okay. Yes, sis, Miara. Okay. They have the brain power. They create a space so they can purchase you. They can set the price. They can have it. And when they take it raw from underneath your ground, they create wealth with it. That 1 million that they gave you for that one diamond, they can get over $1 billion on that one diamond because the processes that it goes through before they even sell it. And when they cut it and define it, the price that they put on that one diamond that they pay $1 million for to you. And we're seeing that right now in Niger. France was giving them $1 billion a year. When they keep to find out by processing it themselves, knowing the worth of it, what are they getting? $300 billion instead of $1 billion. You need a leader who has a heart that is people-centered, not pretentious. You want a leader who comes with a vision that is not hungry and begging. And even if they're hungry, they can delay their hunger and put the people first. You see the labor in Burkina Faso? The world has come to some of the biggest celebrated in the world. Yesterday, the Burna Boys, they told the boy that was joke. Guess what? Volunteer to have a concept. I'm in a chat room with global bloggers. Some of them got millions, telling million people following them. No, Liberian people don't like what I say, so they don't follow me, and I don't care. I'm like, if I can get 2 people here to listen to me and I make sense to them, I'm good. I'm good. I'm here to listen to you, but don't tell me what I already know to be true. That's why I don't want. You have an 85-year-old man say he building a presidential project in Lofa County, who have been in every position in the country for 40 some more years. And the priority now is an individual priority. He made millions as a vice president. He made millions as a minister. He left government for 6 years. He didn't create nothing. You'll gain a position. And say, we're afraid of we are. We are is corrupt. We are is killing our children. We are built a team building. There are over 1,000 rapes in 90 days. Their bodies being found everywhere. Everything I said is true. We need change. But you go back to 1985. driving in reverse. Hey, cuz. And somebody would tell me what I know. Listen, most of you just coming on Facebook. Facebook revolutionized in 2015. That's when Facebook Live became accessible. Even at that, most people were not on, they were just on writing part. I was here. 2014, I was live because that time we could only go in studio and route, okay, before Zoom came to be. Then we got Teams, okay? Then we start having different applications to come in. We invented more applications where people can work from long distance from home and all of that during the Corona years, where teachers can stay home and teach online. We have to learn to navigate. Yes, Skype. Because when I got interviewed during June 17, it was via Skype. We have to have OBS, which was the overlay for us to live screen. Most of you in Liberia just getting digital phones. Most of you didn't even know what phone was until now. But the way that we defend when it benefits us, today I am not disappointed, I'm perplexed. Anthony Cassidy, who used to be the chief of staff, once a leader of EULA, who were accused allegedly from stealing from EULA. I didn't pay mind to that because Liberian people always say, let bargain be bargain. They are not taking anybody to go to prosecute them. So it's mere talk. So when you talk for me, you're trying to tarnish people, the way I would say allegedly. He says somebody insulted Bwaka. He got on Facebook to insult women. Let me post this so you can see it, Liberian people. It speaks to us. It speaks to who we are. The values that we put on ourselves as a nation. Okay? That's what it speaks to. Who we are as people, the values that we put on ourselves with the people we deal with. When I watch Liberian women during the election time, Koga la baby, Koga la this. And you're a woman and you got daughters and you're okay with that. And the nonsense, I had little sisters on Facebook. Folks, maybe I never told you this. Most of my family, my son, not friends on Facebook. Because most of my family are typical Liberians. Let bargain be bargain. And I always told you on this platform, whenever my family have issue and they want to fix it the family way, I'm not invited. Because I'm the one that would take family to court. I'm sorry. It's a tradition I don't want to keep. I have integrated my values. Now that I've learned that the essence of the law is to keep all of us safe, protect me from you, and me from you, and you from me, to bring that balance effect or that equilibrium where we coexist, where we maximize our potential, where they're mutually, everything we do is mutually beneficial. It can be one-sided every now and then, but it's not fully parasitic. Okay? Yes. You that were praising me yesterday when I told you a group of people now who are in government, the George Lobo, the Josiah Joker, the Stolen Seer, the whole of Liberia in the streets, in Washington, in buildings, in front of lawmakers to hear us out in our story, on Zoom call, with people like the lawmaker from Minnesota, the feisty one, the one from New York, Bronx. I'm not calling names here, okay? Crossbreed or cross team of what I call it, lawmaker in the United States, and up to the human rights and making sure you're heard, you're recognized. I'll step aside. I remember when we were in DC, and I gave the speech for somebody to give. And how I walk out to me and say, I don't know what you can do. When you go places, you take your position, you give it to people. It tells you I'm not there for the position. I say, well, leaders make more, good leader makes more leaders. People already know my name. Liberia may not know my name, but the world knows my name. Folks, my name is here. There's a resolution here in the greatest country in the world in my name. For my work, the recognition. When I went to United Nations to speak, I didn't go there to speak because I was government official. I've never been a government official. Based on merit, my work is earned, my strength on my back. Not to brag, but that's the fact. How does a peaceful man watch citizen body being found every day, 2, 3? Every day, and you don't speak to it. Babies being taken advantage of, violated, you don't speak to it. But your grandchildren got their shoes on. The diapers are safe. The school got carpets. I don't believe in that. I am a survivor of Liberia prejudice and Liberian violence. And Liberia let bygone be bygone because there's no accountability. Yesterday, we were screaming about accountability. Today, we say, calm down. Yesterday, we were screaming about impunity ruling. Today, we are saying, calm down. Manage your expectation. Today, when I say a 34-year-old man came with vision, people center, where sleep rolled up to work, and his nation sitting on top of his shoulders. You say, oh, he took over by a coup. We've been that route before. He could have taken over by a coup and become a tyrant. He still drives the same car. He wears the same color clothes every day. He stays sleeping with his same wife and same children in the same, the only thing is relocation of the palace. He took $12 million to build and ask, you know, on this platform when we are first took over, I said, we are. Y'all call Wilman Yancey here, he will tell you. My platform was the first to have 700 people watching at the same time, 2017, November. We were in Nimakande. Prince Johnson were there. The call from there. The papier said, where you want? My Jabate went to where now threatening me, he will shoot me, which I know he ain't coming to the country. To Prince Johnson, to ask me what job I wanted, so I can start talking. Jeremiah came here 2008, 2009. My husband and organization sent for him. We sat on the same table. He gave me the message the papier sent. Anything I wanted, the papier would do for me. I'm going to lead the war and economic crimes alone. Or just focus on the economic part, not the war. We are all not in the same league. I will eat dry rest and keep my dignity and fight for the future for my daughters. Now they tell you, calm down. The very people that were praising me yesterday, you know, I saw Koto, whatever blessing today under my post. But I post something under her post to let her know. You know, there was this Lutheran pastor in Germany. He said, wickedness was not the most dangerous thing in the world. Because even the wicked have conscience. You can argue with a wicked person. You can try to change the mind of a wicked person. And some person, wicked person can repent. But a stupid person you cannot argue with. He said the most dangerous thing in the world is stupidity. And it's not that stupid people are not intelligent. It has nothing to do with intelligence. They surrender their intelligence to fit in, to be a part of. That's where we are. Yes. You got Waka building a $10 million house. That when he leaves power, I see his children partying, some in Lebanon, some in Dubai, taking pictures from the top of the Burj Khalifa. These are people whose father could not afford to pay hospital bill at ELWA 2 years ago. That could not afford to buy a plane ticket. That the Alexander Cummings of the world, the Benedad Ure, the Henry Costa had to collect money. People collected money on Facebook to take care of him. Traoré took $12 million, built a factory for tomato that hired over 5,000 people, and it's processing and being shipped. You take 10,000 to build your house. Go look at Chancellor on the house. Go look at Tabo on the house. The children just started renovating. Go look in Todman on the house in Maryland. You see now come in. The place where the ship used to come in. And what I've noticed is Liberia people, they hate themselves so much. They hate people who are successful. You know, yesterday, I had the pleasure. My brother and myself, we cried. My mom cried. Where we been? This young man right here. Just came to America. Got a PhD. Do you know what would have happened to that potential if you were in Liberia? That dream? That dream would have died with him. I have young people who call me, "Awoma, I can't do this anymore. I will take my own life." You know, sometimes I come on the platform, people tell me, "Says, yeah, you know, dream, you know, tired." Sometimes it's not physical, it's mental. It's mental. When young people have no hope, you go to Liberia. Children just in the street. Let me play the, y'all please forgive me. All right. I know Sis Miara will tell me don't, but I will. This is Anthony Cassidy, a father, a grandfather. Y'all look at what he wrote. Somebody cursed. He said somebody cursed Bwaka. And he's insulting somebody's mother. Liberian women. Pastor Kelly, I hope you're back. If you're back, I will host you Saturday. No, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Because Saturday, I need to invite you, sir. Your niece graduating, though. She was up there today in the church. Okay? This is Anthony Cassidy. Imagine that. This is a former president of EULA. A former president of EULA. Assisting to the president. Like a son, and personal to the president, wrote that. So why do you think the men running to be, how you call it, and the president supported the men who say women not supposed to be anything? Then you tell me you're a peaceful man towards women. And I'm supposed to believe that. So let me go back again. Okay, so I'm gonna, and I take longer than I wanted to be here, but I just wanted to have this conversation with y'all. And I would say to all of you, says matter, let's do what we need to do. In the end, we can tell ourselves, knock ourselves on the shoulder, and say we did our best. And that way we take it from. And that's how I see it. Okay, that's exactly how I see it. Now, next Sunday, I will have the other radio station join us because I'm not sure what is going on here, but I wanted to tell y'all to say that that well, I wanted to talk to y'all about before I go the chicken pot issue. The gentleman with the chicken pot, not chicken pot, the monkeypox. For those of you that are in Liberia, I need to talk to you about it briefly. This is not a joke. I know you're not hearing a lot of Liberians talking about it because when people start dying, they wait till people start dying like they did with Ebola. Then, if money coming in, then I want everybody jump on board. That's how things happen in Liberia. They sacrifice the lives of the people. We don't hear a lot of people talking about it, or journalists, but I have a lot of pictures. If somebody want me, how he's doing people, eating inside of people, is killing people, especially in Sierra Leone. Like it come like posto in your girly and your different private parts, okay, in your eye, in your mouth. So you please be careful. And it's very difficult to say it to Liberians because Liberians have to go out to find food to eat, right? Everybody rub against each other in Liberia. Everybody sweat on everybody in
I
Liberia.
think you can see my face. This is it. I'm about to go to the hospital. I just came from the bathroom and I'm about to go to the hospital. Wow. Fuck. Okay, good morning, good morning. Sorry, this is my face. I think you can see my face. This is it. I'm about to go to the hospital. I just came from the bathroom and I'm about to go to the hospital. Wow. Fuck. Okay, good morning, good morning. Sorry, this is my face. I think you can see my face. This is it. I'm about to go to the hospital. I just came from the bathroom and I'm about to go to the hospital. Wow. Fuck.
Okay, you see, I have a lot of picture, but I can't show it because they're really, 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 really bad. Okay, they're really, really bad. So I can't show them. Somebody want them, but it does people really badly. It's killing people in what do you call it, in Sierra Leone. And so it's in Liberia, and that's in Lofa County. It's in Lofa. You remember Ebola started in Lofa, especially in Foya. You'll remember that. Okay. Although Papi Bwaka were waiting for Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to return from room or whatever she was before they can do something about it. What we notice in Liberia, because the more people die, the more people will come to help, and then they get the money and they steal it. So they sacrifice our people's lives. That's how the leadership have been. This is not an assumption. These are facts. All right. Because I remember during Ebola, they were not talking about it. They were not talking about it until Sawyer, who was a friend of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's son, was like a son to Ellen. I cut it and went through Nigeria to get here. And that's how he died. So with Ebola, I was the first Liberian in the diaspora to interview. In fact, I put on the line the LACC, Mrs. Dolo at the time, one of the commission on the line to speak via Skype on CNNBC. We were in front of the what they call it, Emory University Hospital, and that's where I spoke to them from. I was a voice, brought awareness to. I challenged my governor here on NPR. Yes, been on the radio for a very long time, speaking for Liberian. So this is not about Alexander Cummings. This is not about Musability. This is not about Joseph Boakai. This is not about we are. Because I believe if either one of those people win, Liberia wins. If they do well, Liberia do well. Okay. Then it impacts our children. Then somebody like me don't have to stay up in the middle of the night. So somebody say, please call this person, please call that person, or see a child who is trying to unalive themselves because they're depressed. I can't walk in the street with kids running to me and begging me. I won't have women reaching out to me and say, "Sis, my daughter needs school fees." Okay, that's what I do. What within my reach and with my own children. So we know what we're speaking. Since Ruth is here, she got plenty of children. Sometimes they used to say, I don't want bringing the children. She was sent out collecting her own. You can't see potential young people and walk away. But I will say this to the young people of Liberia. Choose your battle. I've always said it. Stay with the issue. If somebody send you to counter somebody to insult, tell them, let the children go do it. Always stay with the issue, even if you disagree. Always stay with the issue. Because the person can never come back at you and say you insulted me. You stay with the issue. If you believe you're right, stay with the issue. Young people, you must. The people in a position of power are protecting the future of their children. They're guided. Okay? They can fail forward. Most of the people in government today, their parents were in government before. You see, father been working for government forever. His father stayed in government. I can go on and on with most of your people in government, except for very few. I call them government brats. The one then here now, who send their children or who were there before, send their children around the world to go to school. They're coming back. They graduate, they come back, they give them jobs. They have no experience, no practical knowledge. They learn the white man book, they come home, and most of them cannot customize it because they don't have practical. You know, I work in education, and I'm doing a PhD program, okay? And I'm doing it in differentiated strategy. You know how I found out that this is what I really want to do? Because I have real world experience. I've learned that every child is different, although in my own house I know. But they learn differently, and there's so much variation of learning style that a child is not outright dull or outright smart. They just learn differently. And in Liberia, I know that for a fact, that you're either brilliant or you're out of it. They will shame you, they will name you, like they will be doing tests, like we used to do spelling bee on Friday. I remember this boy could stutter, and we teased this boy because we didn't know better. My brothers would tell you, it got to a point we need in C-O-M-M. They asked this boy to spell communication. He could spell it, but he stuttered, so he could not get it out. And he just stood there, C-O-M-M, C-O-M-M, and he could not move. And the more people laugh at him, the more he was stuck. Then he started knocking his lap. Okay? Now that I have had years of experience dealing with different categories, sometimes the homes that the children come from impact their learning ability, not just that, but the performances. Okay? Sometimes you get some of the brightest students, okay? But they don't test well. They get low grades. Sometimes you got some kids that don't do nothing. They get maximum grade. So at first, I wanted to do a PhD in supply chain. Brother Abraham told me that's a lot of math. Yes, I love math and science. But I decided I want to do something in education. Yes, I'm cross-trained. I can do that. And most of you know my background starts from sciences, telecommunication, electronics. Then I went and got an MBA. So I have a master's in applied science, MBA, and MAT. Now, all of the field that I need, I've worked in. But these people send their children, because most of your people that come on scholarship for the school to take them, they have guaranteed jobs. So they come back to jobs. Whether they just read or somebody wrote the paper for them, they got guaranteed job. For instance, lately you're talking about Mo Ali, who say he paid $250,000 for a borehole, not even a good water tower. Funny looking thing. Look like a rendition or rendering of some sort of project that is coming up. And the people say it's not working. So I'm going to end with this. For 2024 to now, $2,700 new rape cases in Liberia. I haven't heard the person spoke on it. When we pressed, we came up and spoke when those children protested. Baka don't even come out. Baka have been to Ghana so many times. Do you know they're trying to open a mine in Liberia where John Mahama brother, Jeremiah Kun, has a cut in that, has a share in it, in number. The plea that it can be right, that for John Mahama brother. Baka knows. The whole group knows. And they will sell that mine to another company, which name I have. But there's so much to talk about in Liberia. You always say, do or buy. You watch out for Jeremiah Kun. At least joking to the presidency before they got to the coup. He was an innocent man before them. He was 29 years old. Try this man. He only claimed to power in Nimakante, a man a woman. After I said my man a woman. So we're going for it. So those of you who complaining, Musa didn't take his machine. A work there finished. You didn't vote for him. Why you worry about him? You go to your people you voted for. These people had the audacity after they promised this man. Went and brought a press release that they will not vote for Musa. But they were talking about Musa and Nima agenda. No, Musa threatens them. No, there were no Nima agenda. That's Jeremiah Kun agenda that we're talking about. There is no Liberia agenda. And whenever you put your tribe first, when you put your political party first, no world leader will respect you. Your son, well, a little boy named Traore. Russia escorted him with supersonic fighter jets to take him back to his country in the international airspace to make sure nobody bothered him. And you know what he told the Kremlin? I did not come to beg. I came that you would teach me and my children how to build my country, how to not to build my country, but to fish. So we can fish and find the fish that we can have. What we need is education. We need trained doctors, nurses, biomedical engineers. That's what we need. He came by, he declared education free. He declared no girl, no child gets married until they're after 18. So they enjoy their childhood. So they contribute to the country. My papa Boaka was running campaign on Arise. He said, the young people have no future, no school. That was his. By building $10 million building in Lufa County. And people are now saying, I got to go do work tomorrow's school. I got 5 more days, and Lord, I will be in heaven. I will sleep. I will disturb your screen. Now, let me say to you. Let me say I want to wish my baby brother. I am super proud of him. Another Dr. Bully, the newest Dr. Bully on the block. He's one of the most humble people. He has given so much back to Liberia quietly. You don't see on the internet how equally. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Yes. He's an engineer. He got that from his daddy. And he pushed your mama. Okay. And the whole village came out. Let me just show you half of my village that came out. The whole village came out. Let me see where our village is. The whole village came out. We came from everywhere. Everywhere. That's just half of the village here. So, folks, let me go here. This is just half of the village, not all of the village. We are not in this group. We follow the whole place, the whole school. The school had to acknowledge and learn. Randy has some family. Yes. We have at least 5 doctors in this group right here. The next doctor in line is right here in the low green right here. She's gonna get a doctorate of nursing 1 month from now. This is Weddy. Congratulations to you in advance. Can't wait to celebrate you. Dr. Kweye is somewhere around here. And the other doctor is here, Elton. Dr. Bully. There we go. Line of yes. And we are possible in the United States. Our people now in government. And we will earn every stripe. That said, I will finish with this. Folks, family and friends, y'all please share. Sis Coretta. I thank you so much. Let me pull this, guys. They say, please treat this virus like Ebola. I really wish you can call in and speak to our people briefly, but I'm posting this. Yes. So my day is done. Oh, look at my sister enjoying her birthday weekend. Sis Mary Barker. Happy birthday, Mama. My brother's beautiful wife. Happy birthday, Mama. Let me send a shout out to Mary Barker out there, my sister, my church mate, my supporter. I love you, sis. Thank you so much for the community where you do. Enjoy your day out. Enjoy your day. Yes. Yes, so cousin Dada, the children from Impa, main ones are grandchildren. That is there. Line up. Yes. So, folks, we're not jealous. I wish Josh we had listened, and I'm asking Joseph Waka to listen. And a few years back, I told Emery, Liberians need to treat Liberians who work for government like when Singapore was restructuring, they did. When you stole from the government, you got punished. You and your children got punished. The parents went to jail. If they had talent, they used their talent to work for the government. They got compensated minimum to live off of it while they served their time. Their children, for I think a generation or two, were not allowed to work in public service. They have to work in private media. They have to create jobs for themselves, and they were not allowed to leave the country. They can work anywhere else, but they were not allowed to work in government. And we say, oh, you can't punish. Crime is not transferable. Yes, it is, in my opinion. in that particular era, it is transferable. The direct beneficiary of the parents' action are the children. The direct impact of their parents' action are the other people's children, the nation children. That is mine. If I do wrong, let my children bear the consequence. That's how I see it. Because they're not stealing just for themselves, they're stealing for their children until they and their children are punished. When they start thinking about their children, they will be very careful as to what they do. That's how I see it. That's what Singapore did. And you know why? It worked. It worked. Because if you're stealing to send your children to private school and other people's children can go to private school, you will think twice. You will think twice. You will think twice. If you're stealing, okay, you got children, okay, the action of your parents, all right, impacts the community. It impacts the livelihood. When children have to go take water from here, okay, because your parents are contract. See right here? Let's see right here. Who action is this? It's not the people in charge of Liberia. Who action is this? You look at this. Tell me, look at this. Look at this. They don't care. They are tarnishing, okay? Contaminating all the water system. You see, Liberian children are being born with all sorts of growth, okay? Chemical that is impacting their growth. You think who action is that? It's their parents' impact, okay? The parents can afford to buy a bottle of water for their children to drink, to have filter on their water tower for their children. The everyday person cannot. So that's how I believe. I'm sorry. That's how I always believe. And somebody would say, oh, because she's not in government. Oh, well, that's not, if I were in government, the people would be my number one priority. The nation would be the center of what I do. I will be people centered. All right. That's it. Maybe I need to be in government after all. Maybe I do. Maybe I done my part. Maybe I do. All right. Says I'm going to be reaching out to y'all. We need people to help Mr. Cummings, to help Mr. Ability, to help people. All right. So maybe that's what we need to do. You know, I will finish with it. Thank you, Thomas. From Maryland, USA. Hey, Leo. So I'm going to finish with this story to you. I know the story will go, everything they do, they won't do it because they won't come in government. All the years back, I was sitting nice because he wanted to come in government. He be in government, he had not make a difference. When Dr. Martin Luther King, for almost 300 years, when the Black people protested over and over, they were beaten. They showed the other cheek. Dog were put on the water hole, fire truck, beaten, lynch on Sunday afternoon, meaning beaten to death, hung up in the tree. They went home and prayed. Malcolm X said, you don't go home and pray. When they started the Black Panthers. When Dr. Martin Luther King, when Philip Asaranda invited Dr. Martin Luther King to the March on Washington, when he gave that I Have the Dream speech. Okay. There was Frederick Douglass, there was W.E.B. Du Bois, who have different. Du Bois wanted justice and equality now. Frederick wanted education, entrepreneurship. They didn't have, just as Malcolm X had a different viewpoint, okay, from his own prison, so did Dr. Martin Luther King. But Dr. Martin Luther King, when the people wanted to go back to Washington after that big one, Okay, after he had met Lyndon Johnson, where the people almost wanted to kill Lyndon Johnson. From the mouth of, and I will play here because I was there in person when he spoke, Andrew Young, the first Black ambassador in American history to the United Nations. He said when they went because they were getting frustrated, they wanted to go back to Washington. He said, no, the world knows we're here. America knows we're here. This nation was built on our backs. What we all need to do at this point now is, how do we make the maximum impact? So they crafted an idea. They identified people who they thought were popular, or people who they thought not just but had the credential, the intellectual ability to make maximum impact. You will go into politics. We need people at the table. Those are the policymakers. We need an advocate to keep sharing the ills of the society. We need entrepreneurs who will generate funds because we need money. And we need our people employed. So they had those three groups. Actually, four. The do nothing group, who were afraid, who didn't think things were possible. The advocate who continued to air out the ills of the society, the injustices that were happening. Dr. Martin Luther King was to hear that. Andrew Young, John Lewis, John Conyers, Elijah Cummings, okay, and the rest of them were going to go into politics to be the policymaker, to be at the table. Then you have another group who are going to go into business, and they were all going to support it. Now I'm saying this to say, yes, maybe I need to reconsider to go into politics. I understand how nations are built. I study business management at a higher level. I study technology, telecommunication, electronics. I've studied education and history, how the world built itself and how it destroyed itself. I think I'm one of the right people to be at the table. And I have real-time, hands-on experience. So I'm going to say good day to all of you. Thank you for listening to me. God bless us. The only way we can change Liberia is Liberia be our first agenda and every other agenda be secondary. Y'all watch out. Good day, everyone. God bless. I will end this story with my family, with my village out, supporting my brother, the newest doctor on the block. And a tribute to my mother. Thank you for being the woman that you are. Thank you for all that you did, that you continue to do for education purposes, to make sure we go where you never went, as you would say. Yes, that is the idea, to go where you've never been. All right? Oh. So where is my, okay, here it is. Just my music. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to end with this.
I am a woman.
Good evening, everyone. Good night.
I'm intelligent and wise. A beautiful woman. I am a woman. I'm a strong woman. Magnificent. Today's woman. I can't be your doctor or lawyer, teacher or an engineer. I could be your mother. Ooh, I can be your sister. I can be a nurse or a judge in the court. I could be a leader, ruling over a nation, all over the world. I am a woman. I'm a strong woman. I'm intelligent and wise. A beautiful woman. I am a woman. I'm a strong woman. Magnificent. Today's woman. The spirit of women is calling, and the voice of unity must answer today's woman.